one of the drills were like every day, learn something, go online. It was a routine.
Just tell me about that experience of doing something very big, but most people actually seem to overlook it.
The mistakes that we do, we learn from those mistakes. Actually, we are who we are because of the mistakes we've made. Yeah.
Like, who did you look up to at that time?
The first time?
Yeah.
No, I was just monitoring the levels.
Oh.
The first day I was just like, yeah, I think this one shouldn't be this loud. I didn't know the technicalities.
Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Andrew Kagwamaiga, and this is the FrontRow Podcast. You know, this is a place where we get to talk about the film industry, the people that are making the magic happen, and they give us an insight of what they do, and how they do it. So today, I'm happy and delighted to be joined by Isima Ssemujju, sound man.
When you add sound man or gatako or mumpi.
Sound man or mumpi.
Yeah, that's my my code name, SMO.
Oh, okay. So let's just talk about the year 2024. Like, what have you been working on in 2024?
2024 has been a roller coaster. I've worked on two feature films.
Okay.
And 2 short films.
Okay.
And some stage productions.
Some stage production.
Yeah.
You know,
I started with a feature film. Actually, both feature films are still in post.
Okay.
One, I worked on it in Djibouti.
Okay.
Yeah, early this year in January.
Oh.
Then I went back to Somalia for another finished of the additional scenes for
that
village next to Paradise that is premiered this year in Cannes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Cannes material.
Yeah, and actually this week it won the Jury's Award in Marrakech.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, the very funny thing is, I still remember the very first time I met you. I was a fresh journalist at that time, and that was on the set of The Hostel.
Oh, yeah. When I was a fresh person in the industry. I just joined the university then. I was taking my course in drama and film, and acting was a thing for me then.
Yeah, I remember you were acting. How long did you act?
I think I've been acting for quite, besides the professional space, I've been acting for some time, since school.
Oh.
Yeah, since primary and in school stuff. I still act once in a while for fun. Yeah, but now the technical space took me.
Is acting like the introduction into the industries, be it film or theater? Because I feel like every other person I know that's doing the other technical things somehow started off acting. Like, I saw Adnan act. Like
in Lukmani's film.
Yes,
the Bad Mexican.
Yeah.
Adnan is another amazing actor. Actually, Isiko Abeka is another amazing.
Isiko.
I was in the same class with Isiko Abeka at campus. We did the same course. Actually, some technical guys are amazing actors.
I mean, I saw Samuel Xavier acting. Like, to tell you that it's like everyone who is technical right now somehow started off as an. I saw Esther Nakaziba acting. Like,
wow,
like,
I need to.
Yeah. I've seen her. So that's why I'm. Is it like acting is usually that entry point, and then people get in there and they're like, I think I need to find where I lie the most.
Yeah, I think it's the entry beat. And maybe one of the reasons why actors later switch to other departments is, also the pay. Because, truth be told, few projects pay well in the acting space. And later on, because you want to make ends meet, sometimes people end up doing extra jobs in technical. And if you're not that serious with acting, you might find that you're taken up by the technical space. But me, one of the reasons why I switched from acting was having, like, after the hostel, I lost out to 3 auditions, inclusive of Queen of Katwe.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I kept receiving from the casting directors was like, oh, you're good, but your face looks young.
Aye.
I was like, it happened the first time, I was like, okay. Second time, third time, I was like, when Queen of Katwe happened, I was like, nah, this is time to
think of other things.
Yeah.
What was it sound?
Why sound?
Yeah.
Actually, I was on the set of the campus back then.
Kazora is the
Kazora
campus.
and Phil Priswata. Phil Priswata is a big mentor. He has actually shaped me in one way or the other. Because he was my lecturer. So he talked to us and he's like, those of you want, you can come through and see. So I went. I was into the production department. Then later on, I don't know how I ended up assisting Geoffrey Kasozi to swing the boom.
Okay.
Before I knew it, I was on the mix. I've always been this inquisitive guy. And yeah, I started like doing both light and sound.
So when you're on the mixer, did you know what you're doing?
The first time?
Yeah.
No, I was just monitoring the levels. The first day I was just like, yeah, I think this one shouldn't be this loud. I didn't know the technicalities. Then the following day, Kasozi was like, okay, these are the basic settings. It ran me through the sample rate. Yeah.
How was it then? For example, was that show well equipped when it comes to the sound department?
Yeah. Okay, we are doing mainly booms.
That's
mainly
before the
booms,
switch.
The switch
happened
to lapels.
To lapels.
Actually, I think at the hostel, did we use lapels? I think sometimes, yeah.
But I
yeah,
mean,
yes.
Hostel was a big budget.
It was a big budget. Yeah, even here, we used lapels in some scenes, but we relied more on booms. And those recorders, we had the Tascam 60D and 70D, they were the thing. And then the Zoom H5 and H6.
Yeah.
They were the thing. But I hated Tascam. Actually, I've never used the Tascam again. One. For it, if it blacked out, if you're rolling and then power, like the batteries run out, it doesn't save that take. And we had rolled for 15, which is not the case with Zoom recorders. At least if it blacks out, it will save. I was on set. It blacked out. Trying to play back, the tech is not there. I was like, what? I had to talk to the director, Philip, and he's like, you're not serious. How can you tell me that? You don't have it. But yeah, fun moments. Going through the, we are using but they had good, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, because I invested well in
the campus.
Equipment. Yeah. We were using the Sennheiser, we had 2 boom mics. There was the Sennheiser 416, which is the industry standard.
Okay.
And then the NTG, what? Was it NTG2? There was another Rode mic. It was good. Because we had a studio side, and even the headphones were good. The Tascam is a good recorder also. I just hated it for that part of it, like not having that ability to save when it blacks off.
But have you missed recording before?
No.
Where you press record and
then you think that you've pressed record and then by the end of the take,
you do not have it.
I think it has happened once. It has happened once. I think in 2019. Yeah, it has ever happened. And like, because I have this habit of after a take, I play back
To listen.
To listen that, okay, as the director is reblocking, okay, adjust this, I'm also thinking of, okay, I need to change this mic position, I need to adjust this. But as I'm doing that, I'm carrying my mixer. I'm talking to everyone, but one headphone is on, the other is off. I'm listening back. You can never know. I mean, it's even I now with the kind of mix I have, that I can have my mix, and the director, if I decide to give the director a mix for playback, it's their mix. They are known. I can be listening to something different from what they're listening to. So it's that bit where I'm like, okay, okay, I have it. Then I had it yesterday. Yeah.
So about the day you missed, what exactly happened?
I was lucky that when I missed, the camera department also had issues.
Oh.
So before I said that I needed a safety tech, the camera guys were like, I had this thing in frame. I was like, rescue moment.
So
everyone needed. And after that take, I was like, one more for safety, audio safety. And they're like, but all the techs, I'm like, yeah. In this previous tech, I didn't have proper audio. This tech didn't have proper audio. I need one for safety. But one thing I was doing is to at least give them 2 files that can be trusted in post.
You know, like I was talking to Jude
Mugera.
And he told me,
one of my other mentors in audio.
He told me in the business of sound, or in the career of sound, it is so hard. Like somehow you grow through those mistakes, through those false records where you think you've recorded and then you've not recorded. Like he told me it happened to him once. I think he had to record a concert. Somehow, I think pressed record and missed something and then was recording one line or something like that. So
those things shape us. The mistakes that we do, we learn from those mistakes. Actually, we are who we are because of the mistakes we've made. Yeah. Because once you do it today, you're like, no, tomorrow I need to have like a countermeasure. For instance, now with live recording, if your recording stems for like a concert, you have to record a backup of a stereo mix. At least if this fails, you have a backup. Actually, it has ever happened to us. Still, I was with Jude, and he recorded the stems. I recorded the mix as backup. As he was working on post, and he's like, wait, there is a section that I don't have, that I think the machine went messy. Remember, he's recording, he's doing the live mixing for the concert. Sometimes you might miss really looking at that machine. And the stereo mix saved the time. Like, I don't know how many times the stereo mix has come to save the days.
Yeah, talking about metas, like, so by the time you got into the industry, I do not think we had a lot of sound mentors for film, to be specific. Like, who did you look up to at that time, if it's to come down to Uganda?
Adnan Senkumba. He's one guy that I looked up to. Like, okay, the very first best skills I got them from Geoffrey Kasozi. Then later I started working with Adnan. But mind you, I was also still dealing with so many other things around that time.
Because
I'm still in acting. I'm still doing production management. I'm still directing. I'm doing light for stage. Like, I was doing so many things. And actually, I majored in directing.
You majored in directing?
Yeah.
Have you ever directed?
Yeah, I've directed. I've experimented I've not released the film as a director, but I've directed more for stage or been an assistant director for quite a number of productions.
Because I know you've been a stage hand for very many productions. Sometimes it's
called stage manager.
Yes, stage manager
or stage. Okay, I do quite.
like sometimes when they're introducing, like at times I know like, yeah, stage manager, that's when they're going to call Isma. And then somehow it's you. So like, I had no idea you've actually directed for stage.
I have.
How
I majored
how
in,
many of them?
I don't know. There are quite a number of productions. Actually, in I started experimenting my directing in schools for national MDD. And my first time was in 2016 in Imbala. I was direct training at Luzira SS. The play I directed was number 3 in the country. It was my first time. And the poem that I also produced was in I don't write, I get writers. The schools used to pay writers, and then I produce. Direct they were number 3. 2017 poem won number 1. Play still number 3. I've done, till 2020. That's when I was like, I'm done with training schools, directing stage. It was taking my time, and then film was heavy on me. Yeah. So I've been still revisiting my majors of stage, because I also majored in directing and stage management, stock producing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, still going back to the mentors. So so you said it's Adnan. You worked a bit with him, and by the way, I think he deserves his flowers. Technically, when you speak to very many sound people, like very many of them will tell you about Adnan. It's like somehow most people in sound have somehow crossed paths with him. But because I have a feeling he's also self-taught.
Yeah, actually most of us in sound are self-taught, because we don't have we didn't have proper training schools. So you go into the thing, and we've been learning over time according to the mistakes. Like you mess up today, and then like over a phone call, you're like, hey man, today I faced this. You're talking with your fellow sound guys, you're talking to Adnan, you're talking to Bega, and like, yeah man, I also faced that, but I overcame it like this. And I'm like, oh, you're also sharing that I faced this, but I was booming, but man, the sound was, I had a lot of background noise, and but I did this. Like, we exchange notes. So Adnan also, like, he started off like he's a self-taught guy, and he like inspired many of us to join the craft in sound. And we are also still in training more, and we want to make a better.
Because I believe the people that are coming right now have a chance of meeting you, of meeting Adnan, of meeting Shantos, and they're coming at a time when you guys have a lot of experience. I want to imagine by the time you are coming in, also Adnan did not have a lot of experience, much as he was doing it. So how easy was that? Like, you're trying to learn from him, but he's also kind of still trying to understand the craft that much. Like, tell me about those dynamics at that time.
Like, one of the drills were like, every day learn something, go online. It was a routine. YouTube was our good. Like, you watch different tutorials about setting a mixer, about setting microphones, setting frequencies. Like, it became a challenge of like, okay, when we meet, what are we talking about? Which tutorial did you watch? That was the game, and it helped us really grow. Yeah.
Did you have the equipment at that time?
The equipment we had wasn't, like, in most cases we are getting equipment from, finding the equipment on set. But it's very challenging because we didn't have enough gear houses that could provide that. It's only Patrick who could provide, and a few production houses that could afford having a recorder. But over time we were like, no, we need to also get our own recorders. I started doing sound in 2016, and in January 2018, I got my first recorder.
How much was it?
I bought it at, it was a Zoom H6. I bought it at $600. by then.
Wow.
Okay, it was after project. In,
In
2017, I joined Impeke Town.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it paid me really well.
Philip
So, I was the locations manager and the production assistant. I learned a lot about production during that. I was fresh out of campus, not even graduated. Finished my exams in July. Went straight in September. Was contacted to go work on Peke Town. Finished in December. January I went for graduation. So when I was paid in December, I contacted a friend. I was working under buddies. Arthur. I had his Big Mo, his brother. He was also into production. He's the guy I contacted. I'm like, yo, Mo, I told that you're coming back. Could you help me get a Zoom H6, a Rode NTG2? Like, I sent the links to him, and he was like, cool, you can send me the money. So I went to Kampala Road, Western Union. Like, I sent the money. I was just up, and then he came over in this Christmas holiday in the first week of Jan. I met him. I received my Zoom H6, my Rode NTG2, and a blimp and headphones. It was a very nice kit.
Wow, it was a complete kit.
A complete kit.
Aye.
I was like, I need to spend this money wisely.
Is it at least that at least
You
know I was interviewing Isiko, and he told me his first equipment, he created a trip because he got his first equipment when he was still a student, and he created a trip that wasn't, I think either a trip or a coursework. You know those things where parents need to pay something to go for them. And I think he created something that wasn't really existing to get money to buy
from
his
the
first.
parents.
Yes. And that's how he bought his very first equipment. So everyone has a weird story on their first equipment. For you, that was your first gig.
Yeah.
And so how long did you use that Zoom H6?
It worked until October 2019 when it was stolen.
Oh, okay.
Like we were robbed. We were doing a particular documentary, and we were traveling to Mbale, but we were dragged on the way in the bus, and
dragged?
they took. Yeah, I got back to my normal understandings when we were entering Mbale. We are traveling to Mbale at night in a bus. Because it was an investigative docu, we decided not to be like in private means. We are using public means because it was, investigative docus. But I know maybe it was on purpose. They wanted the works, but I thank God that we are alive.
Did they rob from the other guys as well?
No, they only took our bags that night, and they were told that there is a guy who jumped off in Lugazi.
Wow.
I think the guy they had followed us from Kagadi. We are doing some really deep research.
Is it okay to tell what this docu was about?
I don't think I can talk about it because it was a serious docu that it never came out actually.
Yeah.
The work never came out, but if it had come out,
ouch.
But that's when I lost that recorder in 2019. But I went into lockdown without a single recorder.
Okay.
I lost everything. Actually, I remember coming back to stage manage the show at National Theatre, the Uganda, the 2019 concert festival, UNCC festival.
Yeah.
I was there enjoying, but deep inside I was.
You had lost everything.
Man, I've lost my babies. I've lost my kit. It was everything because it was the breadwinner. But it was fun. I go into lockdown without a recorder, and I kept sometimes I could get gigs and I could call Adina and that man. I've been contacted. I have a gig tomorrow. And it's like, cool. let me see if I don't have one. And let me confirm. And he's like, cool. There's no production running for me next week, like tomorrow. And the next day is that you need the recorder. Let me call the border guy, give him your number. He could say, like we kept sending each other the recording device. And then I was recording still some stuff with Ruswat and Kazora. I got some money during
During the lockdown.
I placed the order for another recorder.
One. Yeah.
By the time, it came here towards the end of 2020. I had another recorder, the Zoom F6.
Better than
what I lost.
So like I want to imagine by 2021, because 2021 was quite kind of a pivotal moment for the Ugandan film industry. It was the lockdown, but then that's the time Power Magic Prime started commissioning work, and that's the time equipment went out of stock, like everyone was busy. Tell me about that time, because I wanted to, like at first when you're talking about getting into 2020 without a recorder, I was like, geez, so did 2021 trying to do without an equipment? And
I was lucky, but I had those projects that kept sending in money. And also there is a project that I had done towards the end of 2019. I was recording a mini web series with Patience Netumesiga that paid me really well. I was the sound recordist and the production manager. In two cuts, maybe line producing for that. So it was giving me some money. And then we had to also go back for the exhibition, like screenings in the village. Yeah, I made some money, so I added that. And yeah, I bought the Zoom F6 with another mic. So it was something really good.
You were kind of set for 2021.
Yeah, 2021 came in well. It's actually, I used that recorder during for 16 rounds.
Okay.
Because it had better.
You did 16 rounds and you also did blind date.
Blind date I did. It was Adnan, the main mixer, and then I was his assistant. Yeah, and also the re-recording for the additional scenes.
Oh.
But the one that I did fully was 16 rounds, and I had it's one of the projects that I first sampled the higher sample rate and bit rate. Because I recorded 96 kilohertz as a sample rate.
I would need you to speak in English right now.
Okay. With sound, we deal more with sample rate. The sample rate matters and the bit rate, they matter. The way we have frames like 4K in cameras, for us, the sample rate and the bit rate really matters. So being able to record the higher sample rate enables the re-recording engineer or the editor in post, the dialogue editors, to play with those files. They can stretch them really the way they want. And it's the first recorder in the Zoom family that had a bit rate of 32. Okay. Most of the recorders have 24, 16. 16 is for CD. 44.1 kilohertz and 16-bit. That's the CD sound. Like it's the good, but you know that there is that cracky and some noise that you feel in the hiss.
Oh, that hiss.
The hiss. The kind of noise that you get sometimes is depending on the sample rates and the preamps of the machine.
Wow.
So getting that recorder saved me a lot. And I used it to record quite a number of projects that later enabled me to get the current sound device that I have.
Which one is that?
I have a sound device. I have two professional recorders. A sound device 664. It's a professional sound mixer that can be allowed anywhere. These are the sound devices that are used elsewhere in the world, Hollywood and so on.
Okay, without scaring an aspiring sound person watching us, how much is it?
A new one goes for 7,000, between 7,000 and 5,000 USDs. But I got it used. I bought it from a friend who is my other mentor in sound. Yeah, is a Kenyan friend called Willie Sabuto. I got it at 4,000. Yeah, I got it at 4,000. But it was good, and
that's still
it's the same device that we recorded. We used for Katera.
Oh, okay.
It's the same device that we used for the village next to Paradise. Yeah, it's a sweet recorder.
You know that's someone's small car, but
yeah, and mind you, you need to buy a bag for it. That is around $600 as well.
Okay.
The battery accessory, like the batteries that power it, the accessories will cost you something close to 2,000 as well, or 1,000 something, depending on how many packs you need. Yeah, sound is great.
Yeah. I still remember because I was on the set of 16 rounds, especially when we shot the cell scenes, the house scenes. That's from Motive.
Yes.
And one thing I remember, that was 2021.
Yeah.
March. It must have been March. We were getting closer to the swearing ceremony. And I think when I say that, you still remember everything that happened.
Yeah.
So like Kahura is on set, and you know how he can be busy. And then he's like, yeah, we're going to set. Oh, that sound is sweet. And it was really sweet. And then a jet passed. And I still remember how everyone on this set looked when that jet, I think there was not just, they were trying out for the swearing ceremony.
Yeah.
Cause I think at that time the place wasn't soundproofed, and when that jet passed, everyone had it. And like you saw how the room looked. Are we very friendly as a country when it comes to locations and sound?
I think that's one of a thing that is not considered, actually. Locations matter. As a locations matter, actually, I thank God that I did locations before. Because as a locations scout or locations manager, you need to consider, as you're choosing this location, how is the sound in the neighborhood? Do you have a school? Do you have a church nearby? Are we next to the road?
A mosque.
A mosque. A play field. Like you have to, markets. And then you have to relate that to how does it impact the story? What scenes are we looking at to shoot from here? Are they scenes that are deep, like somewhere in a deserted place, but then in the background you're hearing the horns, yet the story is saying that we are in a forest somewhere, we are in a prison, for instance, 16 rounds. The prison scenes, you're in a prison, and then you're getting those heavy horns and helicopters. So we have to consider these things as people. Like that's the importance of having to engage the sound engineer early enough before you start your production. Are you able to talk to that person so that he comes on set and does the scouting with the team? Not you going with just the DOP. It looks good. The location looks good. Have you considered the sound issues? It looks good, but there is a train line behind it.
And you have no idea when it operates.
There is a school somewhere, and it's not on a weekend, it's during school days, like working days. There is a church that they always have overnights, and you're planning to shoot at that location in the night.
Wow. So are these challenges usually faced with most of our films?
Yeah, because we have low budget films, and not so many directors and producers have actually come from a professional background, like they've studied the do's and don'ts. Most of us, okay, alhamdulillah, I'm one of the like ones who happen to study the craft. But others are joined by passion. I've been an actor, and then I've grown through, I've learned on set. But it would be good that before you go in for production, you engage all the departments early enough.
Man, you've just seen things. I've seen things. I've seen things in this industry. Yeah, like I think I've ever been on a set where people were trying to do location scouting for the next scene on, like this set was, okay, they found the location on the day they were supposed to shoot that scene. So they're shooting it later in the day, but they're getting the location now. So we get to the location and they're still trying to study it, like, yeah, so let's see. And meanwhile, time is going. So we ended up shooting until about 2 in the night. So things happen. Things happen. It's just that when it comes to sound, and I notice it even when people are planning everything they're going to do, like, yeah, so we are thinking of shooting from here, we shall go here. They never think of how this is going to affect sound. And like, it's not even part of the plan. Just tell me about that experience of doing something very big, but most people actually seem to underlook it.
I don't know why it's like that, but sound is thought about as a last option.
Yeah.
Many are the times when I've received a call and I'm like, hello, so Isma, how is your tomorrow? I'm shooting a short film tomorrow. I'm shooting my feature tomorrow. Are you available for like this entire week or this entire month? And I'm like, wait. You knew that you're going to shoot this film for, let's say, the past 3 months. Minimum. You knew that you wanted to shoot this. And you're engaging me hours before the shoot? How I've not read the script. I don't know how many actors you have. How many rappels should I carry? I don't know how the locations behave. Like, it's one of the big challenges that we face. We are always thought like they think about us last.
In fact, I had a conversation on NTV where Shantos said they usually hire the sound person last.
It's the routine.
And they usually do not have a budget for it.
Oh, actually, me, these days, there are some producers that I asked this thing that, okay, you want me as a sound guy to come with everything on the same budget. Are you getting the camera with its camera operator? Is the lights guy coming with his lights? Is the costume person coming with his or her costumes? If you're paying the costume person different and buying the costumes differently, paying the lights, the gaffer separate and paying for the lights, why do you want to pay me, the sound guy, Isma, that come with your equipment? Pay for the equipment separately. Pay me my professional fee separately. Because actually, equipment has wear and tear.
Yeah.
It gets damaged on that set. How will I be able to fix it? For instance, actually, I just bought that mixer, but it had issues on the screen. The screen blacked out. I had to, this year in Jan, I had to put it on DHL, send it to the States to be fixed. Back to the fact, there is a company that fixes, because location Soundcorp. It couldn't. It also wrote back to me and is like, we can't manage it, we are sending it back to the factory. That's money that I'm spending. but you're not paying for my equipment on set. How will I be able to service that? Mics get damaged.
Yes.
Just by the way, this one head, it's $150 before you get it here, the other side. So by the time it gets here, you spend like $300 on just the head. This capsule, the ME2 that we are using. I switched my heads to something, but they're expensive.
You switched them to what?
I got the sunken Cos 11D. They are sweet mics, they are industry standard. They are the mics that are used on Black Panther and most of the big movies. Though they don't, sometimes they might not use this Sennheiser body pack, they use Electrasonics, but I got sunken with terminating to Sennheiser. And it's sweet. It's warm, the mic is but yeah, it's expensive. So, and you find that you're on set, the actors damage that.
Because the actors are not valuing it actually the same way you.
They're damaging your this mic that costs you $400, and it's damaged. But the producer is not paying for that.
They paid for you to come with the equipment, same amount.
I don't know how many times like I've been contacted. You are moving some to a certain location. I was contacted. I'm traveling, and someone calls and is like, are you available? We are traveling up country tomorrow. Are you around? I'm like, I'm actually not around. I'm up country as well. So who can you recommend? But all along, you didn't know that
you would need a
sound engineer. Really? And getting on set, people think that as a sound department we need to read. We don't need to read scripts.
It's not just the sound department. At times they believe no one. Because you see, we have a problem where people do not even give actors the full script. Yet I believe the actor needs to know the lines of the person they're acting with. Just to know why they are saying the things they are saying. They need to know. They need to know where this person comes from and why they are reacting the way they are reacting. But most of our people at times give an actor a script with only their lines. And then they give the other actor a script with only their lines. So at times they're bringing someone to be in a scene, but they've not even briefed them a bit of where the story is coming from and why the person they're acting with is probably saying the things they are saying. So they just expect you to kind of forge a reaction to the other person's. So the thing of not giving sound people the script is not even peculiar to the people of sound. Like they do not give production designers a script. They somehow expect you to make it up, like you figure it out.
Do you know that as a boom operator or a sound engineer, I need to know the lines of these actors word per word, because I need to know that when he's finishing this word, when he says, okay, that's when I am moving my boom to come and pick Andrew. I need to know, I need to time those things that, okay, now here, this is when he finishes his line. I need to, that's why we are called boom swingers, because I'm swinging between the characters.
So you're moving it.
But I have something that prompts me. And what prompts me, it's the script that is guiding me. I need to read through the script and get deep into it, understand the story. What kind of story am I telling as a sound engineer? Because film is a collective of creatives. Every department is here to create. The production designer is designing for creating those looks. The DOP is framing, is giving you the nice frames. As a sound, the costumer is doing that, is giving you the real character. the actor is also doing their role to give you a believable character. As a sound engineer, I'm also here to give you a believable story that you're telling. I need to capture the right sound, the right dialogue. When the person breathes on stage, am I able to capture that natural breath so that the audience also feels
it.
that? That's why people enjoy movies in cinemas, mainly the blockbusters, because the recording engineers take time to think about that.
Yeah.
Am I able to capture some foley? For you who don't understand, foley is these are body reaction with object, like human interaction with objects. That's foley. When I move on my hands on this chair, am I able to capture that on set, or will you be able to re-record, guide the editor? I need to capture this. The ambient, the background.
Yeah.
We are in a market. Am I able to capture some of that? Like, I need to also tell a story. And actually, I will echoed this, that where did we start from as storytellers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it visual, or was it oral?
It was oral.
That's why sound takes 50%. Okay, there is in a particular interview I said sound takes 60%. But yeah, most engineers argue that it takes 50% of the story. But yeah, why I said that it takes 60%, because it's something that will never go off. At least you'll hear that buzzing sound of.
Actually, even when the screens are black, there is sound.
Thank you.
Whether they've transitioned to white or black, there will be sound. So it's that thing that is constantly
in our lives. Even when we hear where we are, when we keep quiet, there is something in the background.
Yes.
Talking of the origin of story, like sound is the origin of storytelling.
Yeah.
At the fireplace.
Yes.
What the people write in scripts, when the person is speaking, or when I'm speaking now, you are able to like visualize what I'm talking about. But you can't change the visuals too.
Do you think the treatment of the sound department comes down to underappreciation or not fully understanding?
People, it's not underappreciation. It's people have not understand the impact of sound, the role of sound, and I believe we really need to take some big like master classes. And this is not just to sound engineers, directors and producers. You also need to take some simple short courses, understand, sit in these discussions about sound, and you understand. They need to really understand this. They need to understand the role of sound, because sound can make or kill your story.
Because anyway, it's that department that I feel we've played with way too much. There was a time I was watching a Ugandan film, and somewhere in the scene, it was raining, but it was raining, but the sound was of raindrops on a roof.
Okay. But it's heavy rain.
It was heavy rain.
In the visuals.
In the visuals. It was heavy rain that you see, like in a forest. But the sound was of raindrops on a roof, because they sound different.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just one of those things that you look back and you're like, wow.
No, it's a thing. It comes from actually thanks to Mnet when it came in with these commission products, that they started forcing producers and directors to take on like audio post-production. Before, very few people could respect audio post-production, that I will shoot and then give my audio files to a special sound editor. who? There are special few, the likes of Lukman, who could go and do that with Quad A.
Yeah.
But before, yeah, actually, that's actually something that taught me, because I knew that whatever I'm recording is ending up on screen, like they have captured it.
Yes.
The video editor might play a little bit with that. So it taught me to capture good.
So this is what used to happen, if I understand you well. So you would record, and they would just capture it the way you've recorded it and place it there.
We sync it with picture, cut, Sometimes they could just denoise a little bit, and boom, move on, it goes on air.
Add music.
Yeah, add some music. But have you even thought about the choice of music?
Yeah, there is a way we have a suspense sound, which is too loud, and then when it comes to actual music, there is a song they record for a movie. If the movie is called, say, Ngude Mbizibu, there is that guy singing Ngude Mbizibu. Like, he usually comes back like every 30 minutes or every minute where there is a character moving on the road, and the character is like, oh, I don't know where to go. There is that song, Ngude Musobi, and so for most of us, like, that sound, that's music when it comes to this industry. Have you not been paid? Like, are there times you've worked for, like, cause when it comes to sound, I don't even understand how someone can tell you like we are working for exposure. So what do they tell you when they're not going to pay you?
Many of the times when I've been contacted and people are like, now tuli mukwezi mbafe naye, you will get that credit. But is that credit going to repair my equipment? Is that credit going to, you need to pay me? There are few people who have eaten my money. I've gone on set, worked, and never been paid. A few producers have done that. But we are still in the same space. It's a small circle. Yeah, it has happened to me before.
Have most of this
but
been...
remember, you've not just taken my time, but I've also made losses and damages on set.
Yeah.
So, these are common things. I don't think there is someone in this industry who has not been.
Yeah. Like, I wrote someone's speech. Like, I mean, yes, I'm a journalist, but I've been... I've lost money.
And it's done by those people. About that.
Yes, I know.
And you're like, wait. And by
the way, funny thing is that it takes time for it to sink in. Because at first you're thinking, I think they do not have money now. When they get it, they will pay. And then they get the money. And then like 3 months later. And then you're like, maybe they have issues. And then it gets to that point where you're like, okay, I'm in denial. They're not going to pay. So for you, was it mostly film or theater?
Actually, I think it's mainly in film. Theater, okay. I do theater for love. And actually, when it comes to theater, I'm very picky with who I work with. I'm picky. Because, I don't know, somehow theater was my first love. It introduced me to these other areas.
Technically, everyone in film had a thing for theater before. Yeah.
People know why, actually. Those that I work with know the reason why they need me there. And they pay me well. Theater, it's very few, there are some 2 producers bakumutwe. It's okay, but so it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
You know, theater is one of the most professional things we have in this country.
No, you know why it's like that? Me, actually, this is something that I also try to introduce when I'm working in on set in film. With theater, you have one take. Once the curtain goes up like this,
it's time
you
up.
don't have a second chance. Unless it's really, really critical that you have to drop it, and you will have to communicate to the audience that, sorry. In film, we have it didn't go well, so can I have a safety take? Theater, it is one take. That's why me, when I'm running a theatrical show, I have countermeasures. I have countermeasures on each and everything. I have actually my personal philosophy that whatever can go wrong may go wrong. So if I as I'm prepping, I first think of all the possible damages that can happen. Like, okay, what if batteries run out when they're on stage?
Yeah, and I remember it happened during this show that had Helen Lukoma. That I can't remember the actual title.
I've forgotten the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
That came in after. Actually,
I think it came in after She Loves Me or Phantom of the Opera.
No, it came in after Phantom of Opera.
Yes. So I think one of the scenes, I think her batteries ran out, and they had a lot of issues with mics, and because there was a time I think a mic caught her hair.
You see what I do, like, I don't take chances. Before the show starts, I don't care if the battery pack shows that it's 2 bars or these bars, put them out, put in new batteries. I don't take chances. If I have playbacks, we are doing playbacks for sound effects. I'll have the music on the laptop. I'll have the music on a phone and a flash or hard drive somewhere. And they're all connected at the same time. If the
are they all playing at the same time at that time?
They're not playing at the same time, but they are next to each other. If the computer gets issues, boom, switch the cable straight here. Or sometimes I have already a channel connected. It's just connecting.
What happens with the case of music? Okay, the case of mics, them misbehaving on the actual stage. Say when Helen Lukoma's mic caught somewhere in her hair, or there was that scene also in Phantom of the Opera. I think the Phantom lifts Christine, and when he's putting her down in one of the scenes for one of the shows, the mic caught in her hair, like mics and hair, actually.
No, it's a thing that people need to watch out for when you're miking. You know, we have even miking techniques. As when you come into mic, you have to assess how is the person, the body movement. Is it vigorous? Should I give them a body, like a strap, to have the body pack really tight on them? Even like, how do I roll the cable so that it's really stick on their skin and it can't really like get into the other person's or their own air? And am I able to check every time the actor gets a chance to step off the stage? Backstage, I have to come and check, okay, you're good? Oh, it's not okay. That's my only chance to correct my mistakes. So I'll re-tape and adjust the tape so that the mic is firm. By the time she goes back to stage, you'll be okay. So as a sound engineer, you need to do that. Keep checking the show is not done until the curtain is down. You keep checking. The person gets off, is it safe? If you had any hiccups, that's your time to correct the mistake. And sometimes they get, at National Theatre, they get signal interference. Oh God. Because you're next to, you have the parliament, you have UBC, you have the amount of signal interference there. If you don't sweep the wireless microphones, those lapels, you need to be really
Wait,
serious.
you might end up picking something else.
Signals might cross and mix. So you need to do proper. People don't like doing sound checks, but they help. That's when you know that, oh, this frequency is interfered. Or even when you need to actually ask your producer, are we expecting any VIPs? If they are coming, okay, you need to know that, have you taken time to search about the frequency range for police, frequency range for other, like security, so that you don't interfere. Actually, there is a time I was with Adnan. We're on Sanyo set in Mutungo. We are busy rolling, and some two lapels out of the blue were picking some security details, and they were also picking us.
The security detail was picking you guys.
The actors are speaking, and then one of the officials like, where? Who is this on our line? Because if we are busy recording, and so I had the like monitors, and I also had monitors. So we just looked at each other like, are you hearing what I'm getting? But good thing we had the boom. So after that take, we just told the director we need to do some quick frequency sweep, change the frequencies of the body parts. But yeah, you know, man, have faced that. Sometimes you go in a location, and then before you are busy recording, and then you start getting some, like the mic is fighting the like actually also you need to know the moment you have so many wireless devices on set, you need to know that they should be in different frequency ranges, and you have gaps in between. For instance, for She Loves Me, I used 17 lapel mics, and 6 condensers. Someone might ask, why did I have to plant the condensers? Yet almost every actor was mic'd. I'm counterattacking. What if the lapel gets mute or gets any damages on stage? They are acting. The condensers were my backup. The mic goes off. By the time you, the audience, get to sense that you can still hear the actor because the condensers are picking. You'll be like, maybe she's acting in a softer tone. But I'm already just saying something. The condensers are already picking. Countermeasures.
Wow.
So it's the same thing that I also use sometimes in film now. I use my stage discipline to film. The actor will have a lapel, and I have a boom on them, whether you want or not. The boom is my main, and the lapel is also picking.
And yet I thought people were doing away with booms.
You can never, whether you want or not, for film, you cannot do away with a boom mic. Boom. Actually, do you realize that actually boom mics are more expensive than these lapels?
Yeah.
The boom mics capture the real natural sound, natural environment. These lapels, we can sometimes deal with them, and we just have them really focus on us. They're not capturing a lot of ambiances. But for condenser, the booms, it's giving you, like, it's balancing the space. It's giving you the true character of the space.
Wow. Well, a lot to unpack. But anyway, so as we wind this up, I need you to tell us something about what do you see this industry when it comes to sound. Are we on the right track?
Yes, we are. I'm happy to say that we will, in the near future, we're going to have so many amazing sound engineers, because we are training many. Partly, I co-own a studio with my colleagues, Mulika Studios, and we have like a journey of, we are mentoring sound engineers, and other sound engineers have done that. and Rahula under Quad A.
Yes.
They've been having those classes like mentorship, like sound classes. We are releasing new people, and many young guys. Swangs is also doing the same. Many young people are actually interested in
And I was also
this.
told there is a guild.
Yeah, we have a sound guild. It's called SEG.
It's called SEG.
Yeah.
How many members?
Sound and
do you
Audio
think
Engineers
you know the number
Guild.
of members there?
We are like 20, 30 something, 20 something.
Okay.
Let me be sure. Oh, my phone is
Okay.
to the
Okay.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
And
like a good number.
this guild is actually, we are trying to shape sound,
I
how
was-
people relate with the sound department. Actually, before you join the guild, we have criteria. Not everyone is in that
not everyone
guild.
that feels like they are sound men.
You have to be recommended by a competent, not one, but 2 or 3 people have to say, I recommend Ssemujju Isma to join the guild because he has done, I trust him, he has done ABCD. Another sound engineer also has to recommend you. You have to get more than 2 recommendations to join. I took some time to join that guild.
Oh, okay. And I was told, as per the guild, a sound person cannot earn less than $100 a day.
We are still structuring that to enforce it. And hopefully, yeah, if the producers can, because we need to be, actually, one of the things that are still making our industry fail to grow is the fact that we've not respected guilds. Because guilds have do's and don'ts for the industry. For instance, if Malchus didn't have the guidelines that I need these specs, you need to record your footage in these specs. You need to give me these audio files. You need to give me like a proper edited dialogue line, proper music track, proper sound effect track, a proper mix. Would people really adjust?
No.
But people have grown and now they respect that. People take time to invest in audio post-production. People take time to invest in coloring and proper sets. That means if we have proper guilds, it will help us. They will guide that you can't do something wrong to an actor. The Actors Guild will come for you.
Yeah.
You saw what happened to Hollywood.
Yeah.
When the writers striked, the entire film industry got affected.
On its knees, yeah.
Yeah.
Film and TV actually was on its knees.
So the guilds will help. Even the producers need their guild to safeguard themselves. Directors, costumers, everyone needs this guild. They will shape. One, because it helps the people to focus in a proper professional lane. For us in the audio, in the sound guild, we run workshops. The head of training.
Oh, okay.
Like I organize the workshops for, this year we had 2, one for field recording and one for audio post-production.
Oh.
Yeah, we had one at National Theatre and then one at Molika Studios. People come and we have like discussions about sound. For instance, that one for audio, we discussed a lot, like how do you maintain, how do you keep doing like consistency in recording, that you recorded well on movie A and it's the same fine tune on movie B, C, and so on. Yeah, these guilds will help us to really train more.
All right. We'll leave it at that. One, thanks very much for coming here. Like, insightful, and I always wish I can talk on and on when it comes to talking to filmmakers, more so the technical parts, because there are very many people that believe the film industry starts and ends with the actors. Like the moment you're done with those, they kind of feel like the rest doesn't matter, yet the rest actually makes the magic happen. But yeah, thanks very much. And thanks very much for watching us and listening to us. Join us for another amazing discussion. We shall be back. Thank you.